Hey there, welcome back to Best Green Homestead. We're in the hatching room right now, and we've got some chicks that are ready to come out of the incubator. So if you want to watch some cute little chicks come out of the incubator, they're really fluffy, dry, and ready to go, then follow along. As you can see behind me, we got some incubating right here. We got some hatching right here. We got some hatchers and some incubators on standby. And right here, we've got another incubator full. And then on the ground there, we have them in turning racks where it's a little cooler and keep the embryos exercised as they're ready to go into the incubator. There's none there right now because we just loaded up and some people picked up some hatching eggs. So follow along if you want to see some cute little chicks. So when you're doing this, you want to make sure to do it very quickly. You don't want them to get too cold, and you don't want any eggs that may have been pipped but not hatched yet to dry out, and they can shrink wrap. The membrane on them can shrink wrap. So you want to do this quick, and it's a good idea to keep some wet paper towel on hand while you're doing this. We'd like to throw a wet paper towel on any eggs that might be pipped that are ready to hatch, because we don't want them to suffocate and get shrink wrapped in there. And if you do see any, you can try and get them back in there right away while you're sorting through the chicks. Here we've got some tags. We like to tag any breeds we might need with a certain color, and we can write down what those breeds are, or we just remember what they are. Now you can see it's a little dusty in there, but there's breeds in 3 different racks. Sometimes we have just a few trays, but this incubator can fit I believe 5 or 6 trays. Okay, so we're ready to open it up here. We just open up these, and then we can grab a tray. First I'll grab the bottom tray. These are opal crested leg bars. They're an auto-sexing breed. You can see the females have defined stripes on them. Looks like we've got a good number of females in here. And then over here we got from our one coop. I'll close this up. Keep the humidity in there for the others. And we've got our Rhode Island Reds and Black Sex-Links in here. Okay, so you can see right away, I see one that's almost hatching, so I'm going to put a wet paper towel on it. It looks like it's almost out, but there's a few eggs over here. They were put in 12 hours late, so we're just looking at them. They haven't started hatching yet, so they might still do so. But I just normally like to put them to the front so that when I look back in, so there we go. We got one that's pipped. I'm going to put a wet paper towel on it. Now you can decide to try and help them out a little bit at this point, since you're already opening it, if you are worried that you might have shrink wrapped them a little bit. Now over here with the Rhode Island Reds, I'm going to pull the other eggs forwards. There's a good chance some of them won't hatch if they haven't pipped, but I'm just we'll keep them in there for another little bit. Another 24 hours or more, and then we can observe it at that point. You see some of them are a little wet. Now it's usually good to leave those wet ones in there. That means they just hatched recently. It's best for them to dry out inside the incubator, and you can just take out the dry ones for now. And then when you come back in, there's probably going to be some more hatched, and you can take out the rest of them. So we've got 2 sexed breeds in here. These are auto-sexing purebred breed, the cream crested leg bars, and these black ones are a sexed link hybrid. So we know what are males and females immediately when they hatch. So we'll show you right now. Usually with the sexed breeds, the males have a white dot on their head. So you can see this one here is a male. This one over here is a male with a smaller white dot. And with this breed and the cream crested leg bars, these are the opal crested leg bars, the females have defined stripes on them. So defined stripes, we got a dot on that one too, I believe. Defined stripes, defined stripes. Now, we'll figure that out later when they dry out more to make sure we know what's male and female. And then over here, we got white dot male. We got a all black. These ones hatch all black for the Black Sex-Link. So that's a female, that's a male, that's a female, that's a male. So I can put these ones together because they are easily identifiable. We know the breeds from other breeds. We don't need to tag any of these. This is a purebred Rhode Island Red. Purebred Rhode Island Red. And this guy will leave. Okay. Move that one up. I'll get these guys out and come back to you. So I got them out. They're ready to go to the brooder. Now I'll come back over here and I'll show you to give you a better idea. So this is a female. You can see some stripes on the top of the head, and you can see the defined chipmunk stripes down the back. Now you compare that to the male. They're more just grayish in color. They don't have those defined chipmunk stripes, and they have a noticeable white dot on the head, or a cream colored kind of dot on the head. So that's how you know. Sometimes they're a little more difficult. The stripes might not be as defined and the dot might be a little smaller. So it can take some getting used to. If you're interested in any of these breeds of chicks, we hatch them regularly and they can find a new home in your brooder. Okay, it's time to get these back in. So I'll put these ones back in and then we'll grab another tray to show you. Okay, we get those guys back in. Now it's time to pull out the next tray. Look what we got here. Okay, so over here you can see another breed. We'll get this lid off. Now what is this breed, you might ask? Well, we've got another sex-linked breed. So what these are, they also have the white dot on their head. These are Midnight Morans, or some people call them Midnight Majesty Morans. They're a sexed hybrid between the black blue copper Moran and the barred rock hen. So we've got over here males with the white dot on their head. 2 males. And what do the females look like? Just the same as the black sex links. So they can be different. Sometimes I will tag the black sex links just because they're different, but you can usually tell by when you're looking. Those are 2 females I had. When you look at their face, they look a little different, and the black sex links usually have some brown in them, coming from the Rhode Island Red. And then these have different feet, and because they're not a purebred black copper Moran, not all of them have the feathered feet, but a lot of them do. You can see a little tough of a feather on that one. That one has very feathered feet. So we've got good lines of black copper Morans. Good black copper Morans should have feathered feet. So because of that, most of our Moran hybrids do as well. So that one's also got feathered feet. Now, like I said, pure black, females. 2 females. There's 2 more females. So the nice thing about these breeds is we know right away, and we can give people guaranteed females when they're looking for chicks. There's 2 more females. Looks like we got a good ratio here. 2 more females. There's also lots of males. We just got a really good hatch rate. And we got a white chicken here, so not sure where that one came from. Might have mixed up an egg. I'll have to figure that one out. But aren't they the cutest? So now we like to write down on a clipboard some of the breeds we have and the numbers we have. And they're liking to come over and peck at my pencil as I'm trying to write. And poop on my clipboard. Now normally I would try and get the chicks into the brooder right away, but they're pretty dry, and for the sake of this video I'm just going to keep them so we can show you them all. They should be fine. So I didn't notice any that were pipped, but there was one hidden under here, and it's zipped most of the way. And since I was talking a little bit there and it might have dried out a little bit, it's most of the way hatched. It looks like it's ready to go, so I'm going to just help it get out a little bit so that it doesn't struggle. Now we find the best way to do this is just kind of continue breaking it along in the circle that they're already creating, and then they open it up like a hinge once they get it zipped most of the way around. So I'm going to do that now. So there we go. Now we help them open it up a little bit more. If you notice any blood as you're doing this and helping them hatch, you want to stop and let them do it on their own because they're not ready to hatch. But we're past the hatch day. I believe this guy's ready to go. So now I'm just going to, I could just leave it, or I could try and open it up a little bit. I'm going to just open it up on this one. So here you go. You can see I can open it up like that. And I can just leave it like that, and the membrane should be good, and the chick should be able to come out when it likes. Okay, we got this one helped out. Got the eggs remaining at the front. They still have a chance to hatch. Now it's time to get them back in and grab another tray. Okay, I'm sliding it back in. This one's a little trickier. It's a little homemade tray. We made a few of them, and the lid I could use cutting down a little bit in size. Now I can pull out these, and these are the Wheaton Americanas, blue-black splash Wheaton. And there's a couple purebred black blue copper Morans in here as well. Okay, these are the trays that come with the hatcher. So I'm going to take that lid off and give them, it's nice to give them a little bit extra room there. It's a little cramped, but it's just temporary. Now, looks like we had one chick that didn't make it there. I'm not going to show that. Sometimes that happens, and usually they had a problem when they were hatching, and they probably wouldn't have made it and had a good life anyways. But normally when they hatch, they're good. So, and a lot of the times they start hatching and they don't make their way out. And it's unfortunate, but it's the way it is. It's life. And I think this one didn't make it, but we'll check it out. Sometimes we think they don't, and they did. But so you can pull that one to the front, put a little paper towel on it. And these are some more Morans. We just started hatching the Morans, so there's another one. You can get a little wet paper towel on that one as well. Now they're getting out on me, but we can sift through and see. This is why I like to never open it until last minute. And I don't want to say I'm too early, but we always have the best hatch rates when we don't touch anything until basically all of them have hatched, or all the ones that are going to hatch hatched. We have had the odd 100% hatch rate. We often have 80 to 95 is probably our average. Now these guys are getting very curious, so I'm gonna have to let you go and get them in a box. Okay, we got our little escape artists in the box here. Now some of these, I believe this is a black copper Moran, as we did have one hatch, feathered feet. That's the black copper Moran. That's not sexed, and the Wheatons aren't sexed as well. Now, some of these look a little different in color. I'll have to check my notes. That could be a blue-black splash Americana, but we did have an issue where when I look closer, I'll be able to tell, but we had our blue-black splash Americana, like regular blue-black splash Americanas hens getting in with our Wheaton pen, the way we have it set up in the greenhouse for the winter. So these could be crossed between the Wheaton variety and the blue black splash variety. So that's part of what happens sometimes. So some of those eggs probably came from the blue black splash and they're a cross, but the ones that are looking like full Wheatons are pure Wheatons, as they never got over into the other pen with the black Americana rooster. So our rooster is a blue Americana. So the Wheatons come out as Wheaton, Blue Wheaton, and Splash Wheaton. But either way, they're still purebred Americanas, and they still lay the blue to greenish blue eggs. This one looks a little wet. I could leave it in. It's kind of dry. It just hasn't fluffed out all the way. So I think I will take this one out while I'm at it, but I better get this back in. With these guys, I might check them out and help one if I need here. So unfortunately, it looks like that black Americana egg, it didn't make it, but these two Wheatons look perfectly fine. Now, usually it is recommended you don't help them out, but the time we do help them out is when we had it open and they could have dried out a little bit. And usually we'll pull a little bit and just make sure it does look moist. It probably would have been okay on its own, but it looks like it's ready to hatch, and I'm not doing it any harm in helping it out just a little bit because I might have set it back. So I'm trying to just even up the playing field there since we messed with it a little bit. Now it's pushing on the egg there, and you can see they both should be able to get out just fine. So now we got the chicks into the garage. We've got this stackable brooder for them. We keep chicks of different ages in here, or sometimes we separate chicks if need be in them. Here we put down our breeds. We keep it in a clipboard ready to go. This one, the bottom one on this is, you can see the heating element. It's a thermostatically controlled brooder with a light that keeps it, that's just an attraction light bulb to make them want to go over to the heat. Now, if you want to see a review video on this brooder, you can let us know. We tried it out. There's definitely some pros and cons. One of the nice pros is you've got a tray. You could just put newspaper down. We put shavings sometimes, or peat moss, and you just pull these trays out to clean. They were just cleaned last night. And they've got these little latch doors that adjust for the chicks, and we've got the feed just goes in the side, and the water can set up for an automatic watering system with a float system. But I won't go into too much detail. I could talk about pros and cons we like about them later. It's time to get them in, so we can just take off this feed tray, slide it open, and put them inside. It's nice because it keeps them out of their own poop. But we do have other styles of brooders. Here's a classic little one we've got. This is something you can do just in your garage with a stock tank. Very simple way to start. Yeah, they'll have to get used to finding that. Sometimes you can put a feeder and water in here to make sure that they get feed and water, because they might have a hard time finding it over there. And you want to make sure these are adjusted properly, or else they can get out. Oh, you jumping back in? Please leave a comment down below if you'd like to see a full review on the GQF brooder, stackable brooder system. You can get up to 5 tiers high, and it's on caster wheels. We like to just keep the younger chicks in here as it's thermostatically controlled. And then once they get a little bit older, it's nice to have them right on the shavings so they can scratch around and get them outside on pasture as soon as possible. We had some chicks that just moved from here, so there is some poop in there. I might clean it out again. But anyways, I threw them over there so they can be near the heat now they're warming up. I've got it set to 95 degrees Fahrenheit if you're curious, and let it heat up prior. Now we got these other breeds we're ready to put in to join these ones. We'll get them inside, close them up, and they'll be ready to go. Now for all these. Okay, Amber, we're going to put them in.
You put them in there? Are you putting the males in there? Or?
Yeah. You going to put it in? Oh, don't fall. Gentle. Put them in. Good job, Ember. You're helping us out. Oh, put them in. Back. Push them in. Good job. Make sure they stay in. Look, you already know what to do. She might. I'm trying to grab the females to save them. No, she seems to be gentle. Good job, Ember. She's doing it no looking now. Keep pushing back in. Push him back in. Good job. Yep. Oh.
Mama. Yeah, Mama helped you?
She's better than I was when I first started. Oh, here, we'll get them closer to you. There you go. Good job. You did almost all of them on your own. No, you don't want to be done. Back. You want to put them back in the box now? No. Uh-oh. They need to eat and drink in there.
Yeah, back. Good job.
Back.
want to go see this one over here?
Okay. Now we'll push them all. Well, they're finding their way there anyways, but push them towards the heat. Make sure they get warmed up, and then they can find some food and water. There we go. The more they are, the more they can cuddle up and stay warm too. This brooder can fit 96 chicks in the bottom for the first couple weeks, and then as they grow out, you divide them up and put them in these grow out pens that are a little bit taller and don't have heat. Sorry, it's 4 weeks here, and the last 2 weeks they go up top. There we go. Thank you for watching. If you watched till the end, this is Best Green Homestead. You can follow us along on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Best Green Homestead, and subscribe so you can see when we post new videos on chicks, breeding, and everything homesteading. Happy homesteading from our family to yours.